Schmerz? Yes, yes. You see, this is good, isn't it? What did he give you that I couldn't give you?
Make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to Spacebound for more top 10 videos every day. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Leave a friendly comment and I'll make sure to reply to every single one of you. Phineas and Ferb, to be quite frank, was probably Disney's last good show. It's a sad time, it really is. So why not recap on its memorable 8 years of airtime with this? Hi and welcome to another Spacebound video, where today we'll be looking at 10 secret messages that even I'm surprised I missed in Phineas and Ferb. Number 10. Uranus. If at any time during school you had to learn about the solar system, odds are you probably shared a joke or two about the planet Uranus with your friends. Haha, we get it, very funny. Well, thankfully, the writers of Phineas and Ferb avoided this cliche and came up with a brilliant way of subverting the trillion-tired-old Uranus joke and actually did something new with it.
Saturn, check. Uranus, check. Saturn, that is not how it is pronounced. It is on this channel.
We get to see in the episode The Innator Method, where Phineas and Ferb's plan for the day is a planetary race. Imagine if this whole episode was set up just for this one joke. Obviously not, but still, that would be kinda cool. Anyways, Buford's planet race is of course Uranus, but instead uses its alternative name Uranus, claiming he has to be appropriate on the channel. The Disney Channel, that is. Well, as we go further and further into this list, you'll realize how appropriate this show's writers really are. That or my mind is just blasted with innuendo, but who knows? Maybe that's the case. Number 9. Romantic relationship.
Hello, Doofenshmirtz.
Hello, inky shape hovering in the darkness. What gives?
So throughout the series, Doofenshmirtz and Perry's evil scientist secret animal agent relationship has loosely been played out as if it were an actual romantic relationship. This becomes especially obvious in allusions to affairs where thwarting becomes a sexual euphemism, either for booty or for the F word. An easy to find example of this would be in the episode Lost in Danville, when Doof says how Peter the Panda isn't even his nemesis, he's more like a thwarty call.
Peter the Panda is not your nemesis.
Ah, you're right. He's not even my nemesis. He's more of a thwarty call.
Don't you diminish him.
In that same episode as well, Peter's nemesis kidnaps Doofenshmirtz as an evil, jealous wife. Examples include Doof not wanting to be the other scientist, and Dr. Mysterious bragging about how Peter is thwarting him.
See? He's thwarting me. You mean nothing to him, Doofenshmirtz. Yes, yes.
We've also seen how Doofenshmirtz cheats on Perry with Peter the Panda in It's About Time, and in the episode Perry Laid an Egg, Doof says, "Thwart me, Perry the Platypus," in a rather sexual way. This also led to the Doof x Perry shipping, not to mention he stalks him.
Perry the platypus, you cannot kill thwart me. This is...
Number 8. Propagation. For those not familiar with propagation, it's the breeding of animals and even plants by natural process. Basically, it means to have sex with someone, or something rather, and this term is used pretty provocatively in the episode The Great Indoors, where Jeremy sings his song, Set the Record Straight.
From scientific propagation of the species to poets and philosophers.
In explaining how he feels about Candace through this song, he uses propagation of the species in the lyrics. So they basically got away with making a sex reference in the song where a teenage boyfriend is trying to talk about what he likes about his teenage girlfriend. Ideally, because children wouldn't understand what propagation means. I mean, I didn't when I first watched this, so I guess they did their job. And again, in the same episode, when Jeremy is finally about to tell Candace what he likes about her at the end, it gets cut by a soccer match, and if you pay attention to the words the announcer says just after Jeremy's dialogue,
The reason that I like you is...
it can translate to he comes, he hits, goal. So, I mean, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together what that might mean. Number 7. Xavier Onassis. Next is a little clip from the Time Machine episode It's About Time, in which the Flynn Fletcher family goes on a trip to the museum. While there, we overhear a tour guide mention the creator of the unfinished Time Machine, Xavier Onassis.
A time machine made by a 19th century scientist named Xavier Onassis.
Not getting it? Amanda Hugginkiss, Hugh Jass, Seymour Butts?
Named Xavier Onassis.
Well, if you're lost, it's an albeit very creative play on words, which if you say Xavier, how it's some pronounce it, Xavier Onassis, it comes out sounding like save your own asses. Also in this episode, when Candace frenziedly explains to her mom Linda how her brothers are doing something to this chair thing, her first quick hand gestures look nothing short of suggestive.
Phineas and Ferb are in the Gadgets to the Ages exhibit, and they're doing something to this chair thing, and Ferb is using that hose thingy that makes sparks, and he's wearing that mask that goes like this.
Number 6. Can. This one is probably more amusing than legitimately shocking if you ask me. In the hour-long special Phineas and Ferb Summer Belongs to You, Phineas, Ferb, and their friends get started in Paris. So to fix their plane, Phineas is trapezing around Paris with Isabella, who at this point is singing about the lack of attention in the city of love.
I wish that he would whisper that Shirley should take.
Come on, Isabella, he's trying to get you back home. Anyways, at one point in the song, Phineas is practically fixated on a red windmill. The Moulin Rouge windmill. You know, that tourist attraction that formerly housed and modernized can-can dancers and courtesans, aka sex workers alike. The show's makers probably included it because of its now incredibly romantic setting to the tourists, but boy does that place have a seductive dark past. Love may not be on Phineas's mind, but something else sure might be. Number 5. Drawbridge. Next is a scene in the episode Drusel Steinoween, where we have Buford talking to Irving at a Halloween party. And there are definitely some who've had to deal with this embarrassment of having their drawbridge down on their pants. This time though, the show means drawbridge literally. The problem though, where they positioned it. It's literally, like, right there.
Yeah. Hey, Windsor, your drawbridge is down.
Oh, hi.
And in the same episode, the kids' parents are also getting in the spirit of things when Lawrence is wearing a gorilla suit and Linda's wearing a nurse uniform. But to some, this is something that looks suspiciously like the beginning of a sexual role-playing game. It only makes things worse too when Lawrence makes a gorilla sound and pounds his chest, followed by a not-so-terrified Linda saying, "Oh no, a gorilla," in a reasonably flirty/seductive tone. Number 4.
And you ask me what my wish would be. It's probably
In the episode The Wizard of Oz, which is obviously a Wizard of Oz parody, they show us a bear behind a tree with a newspaper during Jeremy's song. However, we see this bear again in a small 2-second clip after the credits roll, still in the same pose behind the tree reading the newspaper. You'll also notice how he says yes, yes I do. Wow, if you don't get it, the bear is referencing the classic rhetorical question, does a bear shit in the woods? Well, clearly, we got the answer. Number 3. Yank My Chain. In the episode Candace Gets Busted, when Linda first suspects Candace is having a party, she tells Lawrence, who is wearing the self-invented shower hat, this has to do with it, that they have to go home right now and miss their trip. So he actually asks, would you like to yank my chain, effectively making this a whipped joke.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to cancel our trip and head right back.
Would you like to yank my chain?
Yes. Yes, I would.
And yes, she does pull it. Not to mention that he asked the question with a lower, more depressed tone than usual, which is a little bit out of the normal. Then in the same episode, this is just an added little bonus part, Candace's party is actually transported to Doofenshmirtz's pants, making a literal "there's a party in my pants" joke.
I wonder where the party went.
Someplace nice, I hope.
Well, obviously something's amiss.
What's even weirder about this though is how the party got zapped by the go-away-inator that sends somebody to a place they wouldn't want to go to. So apparently nobody wants to end up in Doof's pants. Yeah, that says a lot about Doof, unfortunately. If he knows that, it's probably going to be a little bit depressing and hurt his morale. Number 2. Sorry for the cheesy joke, but not really.
Do that.
I want a green one.
Here you go, little angel.
So next is a trope from the episode Toy to the World, from when Candace gets a job at the Hardy Horror Store. Never did she work there again, there's a continuity mistake for you anyways, but as the store is now introducing the new Perry the Platypus toy, Candace has to wear a not so flattering Perry costume.
Fantastic, you look like number 1.
I feel like number 2.
That's the spirit.
So when the manager says to Candace, "Fantastic, you look like number 1," and she replies, "I feel like number 2, it's pretty obvious what sort of word she wanted to say in replacement for number 2. But all I can say is that was probably a pretty shitty moment for her, if you kind of catch my drift. And finally, number 1, drug trips.
Sit down, I'll tell you a little story. When I was a boy.
Throughout the Phineas and Ferb series, there have been a few questionable instances and references to drugs and their effects, so here are just a few I've managed to gather up. The first one being in the episode Dude, We're Getting the Band Back Together, the first two meet Danny, the guitarist, who gets to play us a song. The three are going through different styles of music and eventually come across one with a very colorful and rainbow style background.
Never a bimbo. So what's this? This is psychedelia.
So when Phineas asks about it, Danny says it's psychedelia, where he was asking about the trippy as hell colors, where he answers nervously that he doesn't know. This is obviously a trip, aimed towards how young adults would consume a lot of hallucinogenic drugs during music's psychedelic era. And that concludes 10 secret messages you missed in Phineas and Ferb. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for better content to come in the future. On screen right now is going to be various different annotations to other videos, so if you've enjoyed this one, you're most likely going to enjoy those too. But before you leave, check the description down below at the very bottom. There's going to be a link to a good foundation for a good cause. But besides that, have yourselves a great day and a safe one.